Beware, con artists are on the lookout for very easy targets, and unfortunately, some of the most vulnerable are older adults. Today, I don't know if you knew this, it is Senior Fraud Awareness Day. Our local financial professional, David Strzeski from Sound Planning Group, joining us to share the most common scams targeting seniors. David, thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure's mine.
This is an important topic because why are the elderly, do you think, most at risk for becoming victims to these scams?
Well, let's be honest, we're all susceptible to becoming victims, right?
Yeah.
But as we age, we tend to maybe be a little bit more isolated in lifestyle. Maybe we're not as tech savvy. And, you know, also at the end of life, you know, people recognize they can't take it all with them, so maybe they're more willing to give at that place in life too. So
some of those things I didn't even think about, especially with that digital divide. I mean, a lot of older people might be a little bit confused.
yeah,
Internet,
they didn't grow up with
social
computers.
Media. Exactly. So walk us through some of these scams that we need to know about, some of these common scams.
Sure.
The first one is the imposter scam.
Right. Well, the most common scam right now is that someone calls you up and says that they're from the IRS and that they're demanding back payment right now over the phone based on a credit card.
We hear about this all the time.
Exactly. 2.4 million Americans, as a matter of fact, have been estimated to receive this phone call. And so the average American actually getting scammed is paying out $43,000 on average annually. Wow. This is a really big deal. By the way, if you believe that you have been scammed, on our website, myretirement.tips, we actually have a link that will link you to the federal program of where to report some of this stuff that's going on. But know this, the IRS will not call you, and they will definitely not ask you for your information over the phone like that.
So that is definitely something to think about here. Also, there's the internet scam. We've got to talk about that one.
Right. A lot of emails that are coming to us, phishing scams from friends even whose mailboxes have been hacked. That's a really big deal, and they want you to type in your credentials. I would just say have really good antivirus software on your computer. Make sure it's up to date. We all know this, but you know, then we even get pop-ups that show up from time to time that say, you know, hey, you know, some major virus is on here and pay us $1 bazillion and we'll clean your computer up or something, right? And so anyway, be watching out for that. Get a good antivirus software.
This next scam really breaks my heart. This is when someone calls pretending to be your grandchild and they're in some sort of, you know, problem. They need help. This is heartbreaking.
Right. And a lot of people, it's even maybe they're calling on behalf of your grandchild. Oh, hey, they owe us money, and so send us, you know, cash or gift cards to some random place. So obviously, contact your grandkids if you do want to bail them out, and ask them, you know, is this real? Number one. Number two, send checks. Don't send cash. Don't send things that are easy for bad guys to get away with, unmarked bills, etc.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good point. Call your actual grandchild and say, are you calling me here?
Right.
Talk a little bit about some other scams that might be going around.
Okay, so there's this funny one. The name is called the woodchuck scam.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
Okay, so this is what happens. They target a house that maybe looks a little tired, and they say, hey, I'm a handyman here, and do you need some stuff done around the house? And then they go, okay, well, yeah, this. They start making a list, coming up with some numbers, say, well, tell you what, I can do this in cash for you. I need to go buy some materials, though, so you end up giving them a bunch of cash. Up front. They never show up again.
Yeah. I mean, in that case, I feel like you absolutely need a contract. You need to
right.
You know, have
Angie's List.
writing.
There's places to find real contractors, but there's actually, I just had a client, actually, whose mom went through this, and they were heartbroken. It was about $5,000. So,
oof, and that is not money you want to lose, especially
when
you're on a fixed income. Yes, and again, give us that website.
myretirement.tips. So we've got that available, and also just the big part of this is just education, right? And so we actually I've created some classes that are being taught at University of Washington, Bothell, Bellevue College on Medicare, maximizing Social Security, principal retirement planning. The whole goal is if you can become educated, you will then be empowered to make great financial decisions.
Absolutely, knowledge is power. David, as always, thank you for being here.
Thank
Certainly
you.
Appreciate it. Hey, Travis, over to you.
All right, thanks, Liz. So let's check some business.